Despite the abundance of wealth and her access to the big players in the country's economy, Amanda's only problem is finding true love. And she decided to do what many considered an extreme to get a man that truly loves her for who she was, not for her family's wealth. After 2 failed relationships and her experience with her last boyfriend, who defrauded the family of $500,000, as she sat in her room that night, Amanda concluded she was done trying to find true love by simply appearing as the CEO's daughter. Instead of the usual high-class events where she met her previous boyfriends, Amanda decided to try a new method to find a loyal man who will truly love her, not because he wants a share of her family's wealth. As she made her decision, she kept it a secret from everyone, including her father, Chief Obina, and her mother, Madam Adana. Amanda had been trying to convince his father to approve her holiday to the United States. That evening, she went to Chief Obina in his office at home and pleaded with him to approve her holiday. Instead of the 1 month she had been asking for, she told her father she would only spend 2 weeks and return immediately before the trade fair scheduled for the 2nd week of January and lead the company's brands to the event. With her new approach, Chief Obina sighed and left with no options other than to approve the trip. Amanda, my daughter, you know your role as the head of artificial intelligence and designs in the company. Please know I am only approving this trip because you have done an amazing job throughout the year and needed to rest before the trade fair at the 1st week of next year. I have approved $600,000 for your trip. Early in the morning, Amanda packed her luggage and headed to the airport for her flight. As soon as the driver dropped her at the airport and turned back home, she boarded a flight going to Rivers State instead of the United States she had told her parents. At Rivers State, she took a taxi to Port Harcourt, where she lodged in a hotel to execute her plans. She turned a few of her clothes to rags, removed her wigs and put some dirt on it, and rubbed her face with charcoal. Very early in the morning, before everyone wakes up, she put on the dirty clothes and covered it with a gown. As she reached the busy junction, she removed her gown and put it in a leather bag beside her. She settled there in front of a mall where influential guys often come for shopping. Amanda will call on every young man that appeals to her taste, begging them to help with food and take her to the hospital for medical care. She tried to cope with her new lifestyle on the 1st and the 2nd day, as everyone turned her down and got kicked by a guy she thought would fit into the kind of man she wants when she tried to get close. Amanda was never used to being humiliated and kicked in that manner, but she saw it as an opportunity to learn a phase of life she never imagined could happen to any human being. Instead of giving up so easily, he was determined and convinced herself she would get what she wants. Before leaving, the following day she saw her ex, who defrauded her and her family of $500,000 and ran away with her car. She had approached him before she knew he was the one. Because Amanda disguised herself, Emeka didn't recognize her and poured the yogurt he was drinking on her for harassing him and his new girlfriend. Amanda believed she had had enough. She wanted to unveil herself, shout, and get Emeka arrested and retrieve every penny he stole from her and her family, but she overcame her emotions. She said it would ruin her mission of finding true love in Port Harcourt. She watched with rage as Emeka drove away in her car with another woman. On the 5th day, a guy stopped to listen to Amanda, gave her some snacks, and opened his car door for her to enter. Despite her mission, Amanda was skeptical. She imagined, what if he was a ritualist or a kidnapper? But she silently mustered some prayers and said the risk was worth taking. The young man introduced himself as Obiora, a software engineer who recently came to the country because of a partnership deal he was hoping to get from the giant tech company in the country during the upcoming trade fair. Obiora first took Amanda to a shopping mall where he got her a lot of expensive dresses and fulfilled her request of taking her to the hospital. At the hospital, Amanda silently told the nurse nothing was wrong with her and only wanted to get some rest after the kidnapping experience. She was admitted on bed rest. Obiora offered to stay with her at the hospital and look over her, as she had told him earlier that she was an orphan and didn't have a family to care for her. But Amanda rejected the offer and told him he had done enough. Obiora later left, only to return with a plate of food and some fruits after a few minutes. He said he saw a potential in Amanda because of her Queen's English and brilliant responses to his questions, and believed she only needed to be polished for the diamond in her to show. Amanda was surprised to see Obiora sleeping at the reception when she went out to urinate at night. She smiled and silently prayed God should make Obiora to be the man for her. She wondered how a successful young businessman with many women at her beck and call would choose to be helping someone that appeared dirty and homeless like her. When Amanda was discharged the following day, Obiora convinced her to come to his house, at least to know where he was living. On their way home, he asked Amanda what she would like him to do for her to live the life she dreamed of. She requested a new phone to be able to always call and thank him and sponsor her university education as she wants to return back to school. With a smile, Obiora said her wishes had been granted, and Amanda asked him to chop knuckle, a sign of appreciation Obiora had thought her earlier to do whenever he did anything good for her. At Obiora's house, she opened the guest room and gave the key to Amanda and said she could always come in anytime she wants, even if he's not in the country. That evening, as Amanda had her shower and rest on the bed, she asked herself if what she was experiencing was a dream, and silently prayed for God to make it her reality. In the morning, Amanda asked Obiora to give her some cash and go to the market to buy some food items and cook Nigerian jollof rice for him, after he said it was his favorite food but never had the opportunity to eat it in the last 5 years. Amanda quickly used the opportunity to pack her bags at the hotel where she lodged. When Obiora returned and met Amanda cooking in the kitchen with her bikini and flawless skin, she felt fulfilled for changing the life of Soul, and silently prayed for Amanda to accept his proposal any time he found the courage to do so. As soon as Obiora started eating the food, he said he wouldn't have believed Amanda cooked it herself if he hadn't met her cooking in the kitchen. That night, Obiora told Amanda about his business and how he had been trying to meet the CEO of the biggest tech company in the country for a partnership and hasn't been able to connect with her daughter, whom he was told handles most of the deals of the company. He said he learned a pretty lady called Amanda, who handles the company's deal, is the answer to his greatest desire, and jokingly told Amanda to help him find her namesake. There, it finally occurred to Amanda that Obiora had been trying to partner with her father's company and had been looking for someone that would link him with her. Amanda smiled and told Obiora that she believed God would do it and help him, just the way he picked her from the street and changed her life. She said she believed in fate and assured him that it would happen like a dream. Suddenly, Obiora got choked from the food he was eating and struggled to breathe. Amanda rushed to the fridge to get him another water. When he returned, he met Obiora kneeling down with a ring and asked her to marry him. He promised to take things slowly with her, travel with her to the United States when he is returning, for her to continue her education, graduate, and ensure she gets her dream job before they get married. Amara doesn't know whether to shout or cry. As she stretched her hand for the ring, she couldn't control her tears. She accepted the proposal on the condition that Obiora would follow her to Lagos to meet her late father's friend, whom his father had directed to give her out in marriage and be a father to her. She said even though he refused to help her, she felt it's an obligation to follow the instruction of her late father, for the man to bless their relationship before leaving the country. Obiora obliged. They booked the next available flight the following morning and arrived in Lagos in the afternoon. When Amanda entered the sitting room with Obiora, her parents were confused because she never told them she would be returning so soon with a man. As Obiora sat and saw the way her parents welcomed her, he was confused and couldn't relate what was playing out with what Amanda had told him about the man. Amanda finally broke the silence and introduced Obiora to her parents as her fiancé. "Mum, Dad, meet Engineer Obiora, the man I love with all my heart and want to spend the rest of my life with. My love, I am sorry for all the games I played so far. I am sorry you would be learning new things about me that would be shocking. I am Amanda, the daughter of the CEO of the biggest tech company in the country, the only child of Chief Obiora, the man you have been trying to meet. I am Amanda, the pretty lady you have been trying to meet. You have shown to be a genuine man with a conscience, my love. I am the answer to your several prayers." For the love you give, the genuineness of your kindness, I am committed to building a lifetime of love with you and building the next tech company that would be competing with companies outside the shores of this country." Obiora was in tears when Amanda finished. He only saw a homeless lady and decided to help, and fell in love along the line. He never knew who Amanda was. He never knew he was actually helping himself. When Amanda explained the circumstances through which she met Obiora, her father wanted to scold her for going too far in the name of finding true love, but his wife quickly stopped him and said Amanda deserves to be happy, and the most important thing is that she has found true love through the most awkward way. In the next few days, Obiora had a meeting with Chief Obinna and Amanda. He explained the mission of his company to solve the problem of healthcare in the rural areas through telemedicine, and designed drones that can locate criminal hideouts in the forest and take them out. There they signed a partnership deal worth $10 million, and their relationship was established, a foundation for the many things to achieve together as in-laws and big industry players. The trade fair was held, and just like the previous ones, Amanda's family company was praised for leading the innovation the country needed in tech. The following weeks were busy moments for Amanda, as she had to guide and supervise the deals with other giant companies seeking to partner with them. Obiora was helpful as she came around and ensured every agreement was of the highest benefit to his in-laws' company and eased the work for Amanda. Through their collaboration, Chief Obinna and Obiora built a giant tech company that led the disruption in technological innovation in most African countries. What most people have been waiting for finally came. Obiora and Amanda announced they would be getting married the following month. Their wedding was a show of wealth and influence. Chief Obiora and Madam Adana made the wedding a memorable event for their only child. The wedding, which lasted for 5 days, had the president of the country, the vice president, state governors, other influential government officials, and captains of industries in attendance. It was the first of its kind in the country, and people could not stop talking about the wedding. Amanda felt fulfilled to have achieved her goal of getting married to a man that truly loves her. But something tragic happened. On the night of their wedding, Amanda was hoping to have the best experience as a couple, but Obiora never made any move. When it became obvious he was trying to avoid being intimate with his wife, he took his car key and told Amanda that he wanted to get drugs along the street, as he was tired due to the activities of the wedding. Obiora had been suffering from erectile dysfunction and never had the courage to discuss it with Amanda because of the fear of losing her. It was the main reason he hasn't been able to keep any lady before he met Amanda, and she never knew because they agreed on total abstinence until marriage. Obiora had heard a lot of stories about a local aphrodisiac called brintashi, and how men suffering from erectile dysfunction were able to make their wives happy in the other room. As he approached the young Hausa man on the street selling it, he explained his condition to him in broken English, and told him it was his wedding night, and his wife was waiting for him on the bed to come and perform his duty. "I don't want to disappoint the brotherhood. Please, give me enough that would make her happy. I will be coming every day, just get it prepared for me, and would be taking it whenever I am coming back from office." As Adamu handed over the burantashi to him, he said it's prepared, and asked him to take it right there and relax for some minutes. Obiora was already seeing the work after 15 minutes, and quickly drove home to face his wife. When he got home, he lied to Amanda that he had taken the drugs he went to buy at the pharmacist's shop, and immediately removed his clothes to perform his duty. Amanda noticed a strange thing when her husband came close. His manhood was standing so strong than usual. But she tried to convince herself that it's because it was the first time, and the desire to have her was much. A few minutes into the act, Amanda was crying and pleading with Obiora to stop, but he couldn't. He wasn't in control of himself, and any attempt to stop halfway might be dangerous to his health. Amanda couldn't take it after 40 minutes of cruel and painful experience, a day they were supposed to enjoy together with care and tenderness. She struggled and finally pulled off and ran out of the room after 1 hour of pain and torture in the hands of her beloved husband. At that time, Obiora knew he had been given an overdose of what he asked for. His wife couldn't take it, and even he was tired. His heart was beating fast and struggling to breathe. He called Amanda, who had ran to the sitting room to come to his rescue, but she was scared of going back to the room. A few minutes later, Amanda couldn't hear her husband's voice and tiptoed to check what he was doing. He was shocked to see Obiora lying motionless on the bed with his thing still standing very strong. She quickly rushed in, shook him, and discovered he was long gone. Obiora passed out, but what she didn't understand was why his manhood was still standing. She quickly covered him and called their gateman, who helped to carry him into the car and rushed him to a nearby hospital. It was at the hospital that the doctor told Amanda that Obiora had taken an overdose of local enhancement, and his chance of survival was 40%. Amanda was disappointed and felt betrayed by her love. He imagined what would have pushed her husband, whom she loved so much, to take such a thing before making love to her. Obiora was in a coma for 5 days, and each day Amanda was on his side despite feeling betrayed. She wished he could wake up and answer the several questions troubling her mind. On the 10th day, Obiora sneezed, and Amanda quickly held his hand. When Obiora finally opened his eyes, it was Amanda's tears and tired eyes he saw. He struggled to talk and apologize to Amanda, but she told him to hold on and relax. "I am with you. I remain your wife. You have all the time to explain what happened later, when we get to the house." The following morning, Obiora was discharged. At home, he knelt before Amanda and asked for her forgiveness, but she asked him to sit and said what she wanted to hear was the reason that pushed him to take such a substance. Obiora broke the silence and explained how he had been battling erectile dysfunction for several years and couldn't keep any relationship until he met her. He said he was too ashamed to discuss it with Amanda and feared he might lose her if he opened up about his problem. Amanda was angry, but when she remembered how she met Obiora and his genuine love, she chose to help him overcome his problem. In the following weeks, they stayed together, and Amanda eventually helped Obiora to find a solution to his problem. 2 years after their wedding, Amanda gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, and raised their families together to the admiration of everyone. If you like this story, comment, like, share and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories. I would like to read your views about this story.